yourself to the pizza and drinks and the desserts. Enjoy as much as you want. There will not be a limit of pizza tonight. So, as you know, I am from the park here. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Some people are from Ohio here in the park. And it's also the home of Jeffrey Dahmer, because everybody knows a man who can cook. Although it's not pets, it's just people. But you know, if you're from Cleveland, they have been a long-suffering football team with the Browns. And one of the problems with the name of the Browns is that it's not really threatening enough. You think of the Gators or the Panthers, such as that. So I was just thinking that there's one name that's even scarier than all of them, and that would be the Bills from Duke Energy. Anyhow, not to go on anymore, we have these 4 wonderful comics, and the first one is going to be, hang on a second. This is my friend Uncle Rocky. He's straight out of Brooklyn, your favorite Italian uncle and the first roll-up comedian. Let's welcome Uncle Rocky.
I was back up.
Oh.
Thanks. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dan.
All 7 of you. Maggie didn't mention, but after the show, I'll have a merchandise table in the back. I'll be selling sauce and meatballs. So it's nice to be here tonight. This is always fun for me. I was laid up for about 10 months with a couple of back surgeries. I had a cervical spine fusion and a thoracic spine fusion, which is why you see me in the wheelchair, because it's a little difficult to stand up for 15 minutes. So I've been married to Pixie. She's sitting right here for 39 years. We're both Italian, and Pixie likes to talk with her hands. She's always going a mile a minute with her hands. Last summer, she broke her wrist, and she developed a speech impediment. She just stood there going, We have cute nicknames for each other. I call Pixie she who must be obeyed, and she calls me Double H. Now, you might think that means happy husband, but no, it's human hemorrhoid. So when I was getting married, I was talking to my dad, and I said, what do I need to know? He said, well, the basics, you need to know 2 words, and those 2 words are yes, dear. And I said, Pop, it can't be that simple. He says, well, you know, we're Italian, you're marrying an Italian girl. You can tell a lot about an Italian woman by her hands. And I said, well, how so, Pop? How can I tell, by her hands? He said, well, for instance, if she has them wrapped around your throat, she's probably a little bit perturbed. I had Italian grandmas, I had an Italian mom, now I have an Italian wife, and there's a few things about Italian women that are common through the generations. One, cleaning. Pixie bought 6 separate floor steamers from Amazon. One left streaks, one left puddles. It was a disaster. One would come, she'd try it, send it back. She returned so many steamers, they offered her a job in customer service. Pixie is like a fresh canola. She smells great, she tastes delicious, but man, she's killing me slowly. Pixie has about half of a conversation in her head before she brings me into it. She'll walk from the garage out of the car, walk into the house, mid-conversation. And at that precise point, I'm accused of never paying attention. She says I have a body that looks like maybe I work out a little bit, but it looks more like I could devour 2 boxes of Oreos with a half a quart of milk. The other night I was going to a football game at a buddy's house, and I said, so don't worry about it. I'm going to have 2 drinks, and I'll be home by 10. Well, I always transpose numbers, and that's how the fight started. The other day, she's walking around the house. She's running around the house. She's on the phone, and she's yelling at me, where's my cell phone? I can't find my cell phone. And I'm looking at her like, wait a minute, isn't that the phone pressed to your head? She thought she was talking on the house phone. Are there married people here? Any married people? What I found out over 39 years of marriage is that there's 3 stages to marriage. The first is newlywed. You have playful banter, you have a lot of innuendo, you can't keep your hands off of each other. It's the best time. The second, that tornado, hurricane, what's going on? The second stage is happy. The frequency of intimacy is great, but here's the problem. What are you doing to mommy? Get off of mommy. I hear her screaming. What are you doing to her? And the third stage is reality. You're feeling amorous. You run to the bedroom. You rip your clothes off. And you look at each other and just crack up because gravity just ain't coming.
It's a kidnapped child, everybody.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that soon. Maturing in marriage is knowing is accepting when your wife forgets where she leaves her glasses, but she can remember something you said back in 1987 on an April morning at 3:42. So, one of the things that's a little challenging is aging, right? When you're going through puberty, everybody explains to you what's going to happen. But when you're getting old, nobody tells you what to expect. Things start breaking, hair starts relocating. It's just a bad situation. So the other morning I woke up at 3 o'clock with a cramp. I got up out of bed, I stretched out the cramp, I sneezed, I lost my balance, then I had to pee. I went walking into the bathroom, I almost fell. I'm pretty sure I'm just one short floor away from being a paraplegic. Do you know how you can tell when you're getting old? Anyone? It takes you 3 tries to get off the toilet. So you all just got Amber Alerts or Silver Alerts. You know, for Amber Alerts, they make a big deal, right? You get the alert on your phone, they put the sign on the highway. Either they break it on your favorite shows on TV, okay, they announce them. What happens when one of us go missing? They put a little thing on the highway and that's it. Well, I got a proposal. With the kids, they put them on milk cartons. I think with senior citizens, they should put them on jars of Ensure. Could you imagine if you see a senior on Ensure, you're going to call up and try and find out where that person is. You know, Keith Richards outlived a lot of people, but outlived Richard Simmons. This tells me at this point in my life, I'm not falling for one of those eat well and exercise things ever again. So, you know, at this point in my life, I go into the bathroom and I stand in front of the toilet, and it takes me longer to start going than it does to actually go. And when I do go, it's sort of like these dots and dashes. It's like urinary Morse code. Ships at sea starting to respond. You know, sometimes my mind wanders, and sometimes I feel like I gotta pack a bag because it's just a full-blown road trip. So Pixie and I are standing out in the backyard, and she looks down and she says, I didn't notice you had a new tattoo. You got 3 lines above your knee. I said, yeah. She said, why? I said, well, you know when the kids were little, on the door jamb, we used to knock as they grew, so we could, come on in. So we could follow their height. She says, yeah, I get that, but I don't understand the 3 rings around your neck. I said, well, honey, I'm actually measuring the impact of gravity on my testicles. She says, well, I understand that. She says, well, why the dotted line? I said, well, the dotted line is there because at that point, I have to stop wearing shorts. I want to let you guys know, do you know there's a new necklace coming out for seniors? Do you remember when you were a kid, they used to make those necklaces with the candy, and you wear them around your neck? And if you're like a little girl, you would take your necklace and give it to the little girl, and suddenly you were going steady. Well, they're coming out for one with seniors. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's going to be made of gummies and Viagra. Soon, at a dispensary near you. I find there's four rules for aging. One is, never pass a bathroom. Second is, never trust a fart. Third is, never waste an erection. And the fourth is, do not get down on the floor without a plan to get back up. You remember when you were a kid and you'd listen to the music so loud it would peel the paint off the wall and your parents would be screaming and you're in your room dancing? So, you know, we'd have that really loud music going. At this stage, I can't even stand the sound of an excited hummingbird. So, over the last couple of years, I dropped 100 pounds. Thank you. Yeah. I'm also a member of Liars Anonymous. Before these surgeries I had that put me in a wheelchair, I was really working out hard. I was going to the gym every day, doing exercise by working out with weights, getting in the pool, jogging in place, really wanting to lose weight. Pixie got me hypnotized, which helped me to lose the weight. And it really got me ready for what I had to face in this past year with these surgeries. So she says, there's a class that they offer up at the clubhouse. She said, it's called Flex Stretch, which is a combination of yoga, stretching, and balance. I said, okay, this is good, I'll do that. So I go to the class, I walk in, I go to the back of the room, because I don't want to disturb anybody, you know, they know the routine, I don't. I go to the back of the room, there's 18 mature women, all in their little yoga pants. So we're going through different exercises and stuff, and the instructor goes, okay, now we're going to move into downward facing dog. Do you know this position?
Yep.
You know this position, right? Downward facing dog. I'm standing in the back of the room, and all of a sudden I'm surrounded by more moons than Saturn. We then move into a position called contented toddler. You know this one? So contented toddler, you're laying on your back, you grab your big toes and you pull your legs all the way up to your chest, and then you rock from side to side. I'm too fat to do that, so I do a move called contented toddler, which is me basically pulling my knees up to my chest and I rock from side to side. Except when I do it, I look like a giant tortoise on its back. So I was working hard, as I mentioned, between these surgeries. I had to go into them in reasonably good health, be pretty strong so that I could go through all the physical and occupational therapy post-surgery. So I'm happy to say that I came out of all that working out with a senior six-pack. I have 2 replacement knees, 2 replacement hips, and 2 replacement shoulders. One of the things that they give you after this cervical spine surgery is something called a bone growth simulator. It actually helps you grow bone around where they did the fusion. So the girl comes to the house from the medical company, and she brings the box in. She's taking measurements and telling me how it's going to work. We download the app on the phone, so this way I can keep track of it. And she takes it out of the box and puts it around my head. I can't tell you how disappointed Pixie was. She had a completely different bone growth stimulator in mind. Do you know that in Sarasota Memorial Hospital, every time a baby is born, they play the lullaby song? I'm laying in bed in a county where the demographics, the youngest people are generally in their 70s. And I'm wondering to myself, where are they finding all of these eggs to fertilize to make these babies? It can't even be possible. Then it occurs to me, they only play a song when somebody's born. They don't play anything when somebody dies. I'm thinking to myself, they could play either Stairway to Heaven or Highway to Hell. But I guess that's a judgment call that no one on earth could make.